Welcome back. We get the chance to talk with Matt Clausen of Clausen Group Realtors. He is an expert in so many areas with years of experience, but we are going to talk today about new construction. Matt, thanks for joining us on the show today.
Hey, thank you, Amy. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, this is a fun topic. I'm excited to hear your opinions on this as well, about new construction and when you're advising buyers at looking at new construction versus a resale property. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, you know what? Buyers are flocking to the new construction for a lot of really good reasons. One, it's affordable, especially in the suburbs outside of Nashville, 20, 25-minute, 30-minute drive to Nashville. You can get a really nice single-family home for $350,000. You get a really nice brand new townhouse or condo for under $250,000. Pretty sweet. You know, and the buyers get their options. They can have a modern home, they can choose the items that they want, and it's all included in the price versus them purchasing a resale home where if they want to fix it after the fact, it's all out of pocket, which is, it's tough and it's a little bit of a disadvantage for them. With the resale market being so limited on inventory and there being such a large amount of new construction, there's more product available for them to pick from on the new construction.
So there really is availability with the new construction?
That's correct. So now we're going to talk about in a second a little surprise about the availability, and I'll go there on our next question. One thing that's really important too that folks really enjoy that are buying is they kind of get to pick their community. You know, the young families like buying in the neighborhoods where there's lots of young families versus buying in an older neighborhood where there might not be as many children. And Gen Xers that are selling their big homes to get away from all of the management of the landscape and dealing with stairs are buying the single family attached homes where there's a lot of other folks like themselves. And then lastly, there's a big convenience, Amy, in the new construction. If you have to sell a home or if you're in a lease, hey, it takes 5 to 9 months to build a house if you start from scratch. So they can time that situation with when their lease is up, or if they have to sell a house, it gives them plenty of time to sell their house versus trying to buy a resale home against multiple offers and losing out because they have a home to sell.
Right, that could be a lot more convenience, especially in the planning part for the family and really preparing to step into that new community. So when they're looking at this and saying, okay, I want a new construction property, how important is it that they choose the right real estate professional that knows how to handle this versus just maybe they have a friend of the family or a cousin or a neighbor? How do you influence where telling somebody how to have the right professional for this?
Yeah, that's just a great question, and I think it's a really important one. If a lot of folks don't really understand how all this works, the builders are happy to have the buyer represented by an agent, and it doesn't cost the buyer any more money. One of the biggest pluses is when we're out selling homes every day and in these new neighborhoods, we know the inventory. A lot of the builders are not putting their homes on the official market until the property's 80% done. And you know what, Amy, it makes sense. Most everything's done, picked. They don't have to deal with the buyer at that level of making changes, picking colors. They put the house up when it's close to done. They know it's going to sell, and it makes it much easier on them. So for instance, there is a fair amount of inventory out there that's 50 to 80% close to completion that's not on the market. Agents selling in those neighborhoods know that's available, can tell our buyers about that. So we know the inventory. We also know the builders. We work with them all the time. We know their characteristics, some of their shortcomings, and you know, we're able to coach our customer through that process. And also be an advocate. If they just go through the model home, they're by themselves, talking with the builder's agent, they really don't have an advocate for themselves as they go through this complicated process, including multiple walkthroughs on framing and finishes.
Right.
If issues come up, I mean, there's over 1 million parts to a new home construction. It's not a perfect process. It's nice to have somebody who understands that and can help you go through it.
Matt, I know that you've got a special property on the market right now that you want to talk about. Can you just share that real quick with us?
We do. It's a new listing, Amy. It's at 230 Greystone Drive in Grandview Estates in Gallatin. Just a few minutes from the really cute downtown square in Gallatin with outdoor dining and entertainment. It's on 5.5 wooded acres. It's fenced and cross-fenced. They've got a brand new 2-stall barn. The house itself is 3,700 square feet. You can tell from the pictures, it's beautiful, it's private, decks, gazebos, a wonderful place to get up in the morning and go out on the back deck, have a cup of coffee, look at the deer. It's a great way to start your day. Beautiful property for under $550, and happy to tell anybody about it and show them.
Well, thank you, Matt, for all of the work you're doing to help buyers really know what all their options are and making sure it's the best choice for themselves and their families. And thank you for being on The American Dream today.
Thank you, Amy.
We'll be back with more of The American Dream.